to Beyond Marks, the A1 Academy podcast where we go beyond report cards. We see the struggles, the success of our students. Today we have with us Mihika. Mihika who plays guitar. Mihika who has scored 99 in science and 98 in maths. Mihika who was in self-doubt somewhere in the beginning and then through her determination and courage has come with flying colors and is A1 Academy topper. Welcome Mihika. How do you feel being with me?
So it feels exciting.
Exciting. Not nervous at all?
No, sir.
Good to hear that. That's good to hear. Mihika, when you started 10th class, I believe you were taken aback by the amount of syllabus. खासकर history मैंने सुना.
Yes.
And then after that, I believe some maths score bothered you. 26 on 14 maths. और फिर शायद उससे कुछ shift हुआ. तो walk us through that the initial feeling of कि इतना सारा syllabus है और उसके बाद वो maths का score जरा बताइए.
So when I first entered 10th, everybody around me told me that it was very difficult and that it mattered. Like मैं जो भी करूँगी वो सब देखेंगे. So with that feeling and the syllabus, like it was very different from 9 and very vast.
Okay.
So I was nervous and worried how I'll do it.
Okay. And then at the top of it, maths के marks भी खराब आ गए.
Yes, sir. And that made me doubt whether this was the person I want to be or that will I be able to do well in 10th.
Okay.
So that bothered me.
So from 26 on 40 in some test in 9th और अब 98 in maths. आप देख रहे हैं determination से कुछ भी possible है ना? Good. Tell me, after that turning point, आपने क्या नई strategies बनाई? मार्क्स कम आने के बाद बुरा तो लगता है, लेकिन आपने नया क्या किया जिससे सब कुछ बदल गया?
So I started to make notes of everything I read or was taught. I went home and revised whatever I was taught in coaching and school that day, and I just wrote whatever I remembered.
Okay.
Then I cross-checked with my notebooks, and whatever point I missed were the points I needed to focus on more.
Definitely, that's a beautiful strategy because when you make note of things, you are trying to make what is there in your mind. You are trying to make it more permanent in the memory. While you write, कभी-कभी कुछ भूल जाते हैं और जब दोबारा उसको रेफर करते हैं तो और आसानी से याद हो जाता है. बिल्कुल सही बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात. मेरे 26 साल के अनुभव में मैंने कई बार ऐसा देखा है, पेरेंट्स से, स्टूडेंट्स से बात की है. मैंने देखा है बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स जो बहुत अच्छा बैडमिंटन या फुटबॉल या क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं, जो बहुत अच्छा गिटार बजा रहे हैं, स्पोर्ट्स खेल रहे हैं, कुछ भी 9 तक तो वो अच्छा करते हैं, डांसेस भी, लेकिन 10th आने के बाद वो आमतौर पर छोड़ देते हैं सब चीजें, ये कह के कि 10th बोर्ड एग्जाम है और इस साल में सिर्फ पढ़ाई ही करनी है. इस बारे में आपका क्या मानना है और आपने क्या किया था?
सर जब 10th चालू हुई थी मैं ऑलरेडी गिटार बजा रही थी फ्रॉम द पास्ट 2 years.
ओके.
सो आई डिड नॉट कंसिडर कि अगर मुझे पढ़ना है तो मुझे छोड़ना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि 1 घंटा अपनी हॉबी के लिए देना while you spending the rest of the day studying does not seem very extreme or that I'm being careless with my studies. Plus जब मैं पूरे दिन स्कूल में रहती हूँ, कोचिंग में रहती हूँ, उसका काम रहता है, तो 1 घंटा गिटार प्ले करना या कोई और एक्टिविटी करना इट्स लाइक अ गेट अवे. I get to reconnect, I get to be with myself for an hour और फिर स्टडीज मजेदार लगने लगती है rather than a task.
ओके. तो आपका कहने का मतलब है गिटार बजा लेने से प्रोबेबली आप थोड़े रिचार्ज फील करते हैं.
Yes.
है कि नहीं? That is a great statement to make. मैं सारे पेरेंट्स से भी दरखास्त करूंगा, स्टूडेंट्स से भी कहूंगा कि अपने किसी एक शौक को जिंदा रखिए. पढ़ाई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन पढ़ाई सब कुछ नहीं है. It's not that you can study for 24 hours, isn't it? Fine, Mihika, you're a great example on that. Very good, very good. Now, Playboard 2, which is around, I'd say, mid-Jan or something, around that time, मुझे लगता है you had some self-doubt. क्या हुआ था Playboard 2 के दौरान और फिर उसके बाद आपने क्या नया किया?
So Playboard 2 के टाइम पे I did not score very well or as well as I thought I would.
Okay.
So that really put me in a self-doubt कि 15 दिन बाद अगर मेरे boards हैं, so is this how I'm going to perform? Am I not ready? But then I realized कि अगर अभी तक मैंने जितना पढ़ा है साल भर वो मुझे ऐसे रिजल्ट ला रहा है तो I can't do much in those 15 days. What I can do is not panic and जितना भी मैंने अभी तक पढ़ा है I can revise it better, get better in the things I did not score well in. So that's what I did and I think it really worked.
It did. Actually, the major point that you said is do not get panicked. That is what happens to us when the pressure mounts. When you don't get panic, you revise. I believe you are bound to perform better. Sabbash, Mihika, that's great to hear. Now let's talk about Avon Academy, where we met for the first time, I suppose, isn't it? So, in our previous interactions, you told me that Avon Academy gives importance to each little doubt. And you also said somewhere that the explanation on Academy are beyond expectations. Is it? क्या आप बता सकते हो आपको क्या खास लगता है नोट्स पढ़ाना क्या खास है?
When I first learned A1 in ninth, I really liked the way you taught us.
Okay.
Like, you didn't start with what was written, but you made sure we could connect it. We were interested in it. You made stories for us. You made it possible for us to connect it to our daily life. You made it seem like it's not something just written, but actually happening. The notes were so well written that if I needed a quick revision, I did not need to work very hard or look for, notes everywhere. I had these simple notes made for me it seems like they were personalized. Whatever points I was not able to revise on my own were there in very short and quick way.
You also said something about marks not being as important in the academy. What was that about?
So when I first turned ninth, I realized that no matter how well I do, you never look at my marks. You never even looked at other students' marks. And you said that the improvement matters, not the marks. So at first, I was really curious why you did that, because everybody else, every other teacher was asking for marks, but you never did that. But as we, connected, I realized that this was a very good thing for me, because this did not pressure me to look at myself for the marks I achieved, but rather who I am becoming with time.
Definitely, marks don't define what you are. What defines you is that under those pressure circumstances, how you navigate through the pressure and how improved a person you are. How do you rate the revision here? I mean, what was the whole experience of revision like, the test and whatever way? How do you feel about that?
In this beginning of the year, you divided the course into small portions so that the tests were not very stressful, but also acted as a revision. There were tests at least 4 times in a month, and by the end of November, we were able to complete our course. After that, it went very exciting. Like, it was not just boring revision, but you revised all the chapters. There were MCQs based tests, there were written tests. You provided us key answers. So when I was able to write my answers and then I saw those keys, I was able to frame my answers better.
That is important. Sometimes, I believe many of you would understand that as students, we do know the answers. But the problem is that if the question carries the 3 marks, how do I frame my knowledge according to the marks? And that is what I believe was kind of important. Very good, very good. Now, Mihika, we are towards the end of it. Just 2 more questions. One is, after that moment of self-doubt, then determined to do something great, and then eventually you gave the board exams and then came the result. तो जब पहली बार अपने marks देखे, 99 in science and more importantly 98 in math, क्या थी पहली feeling?
So when I first saw my marks, I was with my friends, and for me, seeing my marks was like everything I've skipped. All the parties, all the time I spent studying instead of doing something I thought was fun, was worth it. So for me, it was a moment of relaxation, that now whatever I've worked hard for is in front of me. I felt excited, but I also knew what was coming. It was not a surprise, but rather I knew I performed well. So it made me happy to see that all my efforts were worth it.
Absolutely. We were all happy for you. Now, since you've taken physics, chemistry and bio and you want to be a doctor in your future, 10th class result, how does it impact you? How does it motivate you for your future journey?
So, when I was in 9th, for me, 9th and 10th seemed very difficult. But if I was able to achieve it, then even if 11th, 12th or even NEET seems difficult for me, it makes me feel like it's a guarantee that I can achieve it. It acts like a symbol that nothing is impossible if I work hard enough.
That is true. Achieving impossible through the grit, through the determination is what Mihika is all about. isn't it? We don't have enough time to listen to her guitar, but we have enough time left for something fun. And that is called the rapid fire round. In this round, what we do is, I'll pose you a few questions, but you are not supposed to wait. We simply, whatever comes to your mind first, you have to answer that. Okay? Fine. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Brace yourselves, and your first question is, SST or maths? Which one haunted your dreams more?
SST.
SST, okay? One song you'd play on guitar right after smashing a test. Okay, let's change it to the favorite song you'd want to play on guitar.
Okay, my favorite song to play is Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Okay, can't have, I'm poor in that. But I hope it is a good song, isn't it? Fine. What's your late night study snack of choice?
I like to munch on popcorn because it's light.
I think you're same as me. You're same as me. Easiest to make and fun to chew. Fine. Ever secretly hoped a test would get postponed just because you're not ready or something? Which one was that?
I don't like maths. I get very nervous during maths.
You do. No, don't say I get really nervous. You got very nervous. Now you scored a 98. Many dream for it what you've done. Fine. One subject you'd happily give to someone else forever. Maths. And that you've already done, I suppose? You have taken PCB. Okay. What's worse? Forgetting your pen on exam day or forgetting your admit card?
Forgetting your admit card.
Because pen you perhaps can arrange.
You can lend.
Absolutely fine. What emoji best describes your board exam week?
Probably the one with the black glasses, the cool one. Because yeah.
That's a surprise. So board week is that cool one, you know? Perhaps he does something like this, I suppose he does. Fine. Did you ever Google how to finish the paper in 3 hours? Never. Okay. If your journey had a movie title, what would it be?
13 mistakes you should never make.
13 mistakes you should never make, and I believe many of you would have got a few of them during the whole podcast. And the last one is one thing you tell your pre-board self right now.
Rather than being panicked or worrying about your results, just focus on studying instead.
Absolutely. So you performed great, and that brings us to the end. During this whole podcast, I believe students and parents, you must have learned a few things. You must have drawn inspiration from Mihika's journey. Remember, determination and grit can take you places. What she has been able to do, she wouldn't dream of it 2 years back. And with kind sports from family and even academy, she has become what she has, and we wish her all the luck for future. One day, she'll be a renowned doctor, and then possibly I'll call her again for another podcast. Till then, have a great time.